From the Oklahoman newsroom, this is a Varsity update. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Jacob Unruh. Jacob, it's time for district play. Week 4 is already upon us in the high school football season, and that means some games that really start to impact things for the postseason. Your top 10 games, we start off with a 6A2 matchup, number 2 versus number 3, Midwest City Lawton. This looks like a pretty good matchup, Jacob.
This is the heavyweight matchup right here. I mean, you've got Lawton, who has been the runner-up in 6A2 2 out of the 3 years of his existence. You've got a really good Midwest City team that's shown improvement on offense, still has really good defense, obviously led by Jalen Redmond going to OU. And I think this is the one that you would predict, even though it's week 4, might decide that district title on the west side here. Now it's a loaded district. As you see, I got other games on there too. Putnam City at Choctaw, Stillwater at Deer Creek, all within that district, and only 4 teams make it, and all these teams are starting to look like they're playoff contenders.
Well, and you mentioned Putnam City Choctaw. That's number 2 this week. Another local game, not in the 6A2, but a 5A game. Altus comes to play Del City. That's a 5A game. But some interesting games. Westmore hosts Bixby. Some good games for people to see locally if they can't travel to Lawton, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, Bixby's comes back to town Thursday. They lost last week at Putnam City. That was an exciting game, big upset for Putnam City. It kind of shows they're on the rise, but now they get Westmore, a team that they blew out last year, but has also improved significantly. They've added Bray Walker, Doug Collins. They got a healthy James Palmer now. Different things that could really make this game pretty intriguing. And Westmore has had kind of not the toughest schedule yet to start the year, but you know, number 3 in 6A1, so this could be a really good test for them to start the year too.
Lastly, a team we don't see on the top 10 games this week, but we have seen in past weeks, and I'm sure we'll see again, is Bishop McGuinness. But they've got some interesting goings-on, sort of comings and goings almost. Unfortunate loss of Owen Condon, right? Yeah,
Owen Condon, I found out yesterday, suffered a knee injury in the opening game of the season against Del City. Thought he just tweaked it, played through it the next week at Tulsa Kelly, and then realized he needed to go get an MRI, and got an MRI, and they said, no, you've got a tear.
Lineman going to Georgia, so big part of the team.
Big recruit. He's huge, left tackle, part of a really big offensive line. Could miss, depending on what they have to do in surgery. If they scope it, he's only out 4 to 6 weeks. If they have to do any kind of repairs, he's out for 6 months. Misses basketball too. He plays basketball as well. So I think they're being really cautious with it, is everything they kept telling me, because they're worried more about his future at Georgia, and things like that, than they are rushing him back and making things worse. But it's interesting too, the fact that Dominic Richardson's off to such a great start at running back for McGuinness as a sophomore. He's already at 712 yards in 3 games, 7 touchdowns,
and hasn't played much of some of these games, right, Jacob?
No, he only played a little over. He missed around 3/4 of the opener against Del City. Rushed for 89 yards. He had cramps that day. Came back in the 4th quarter to score 2 touchdowns. They beat Del City. Had a really good game against Bishop Kelly. Got pulled in that game late too because they were up comfortably. Played 3 quarters Friday against Enid and rushed for 345 yards. Also had a kick return touchdown. He plays defensive back. He doesn't really leave the field. He grew 25 pounds and 3 inches in the offseason, so he's 6'1", 185, really fast. Really dangerous, but he's up there now with Dadrian Taylor, Carl Albert, Devontae Lee at John Marshall, and Miles Davis at Lawton as one of the best running backs in this area.
Something fun to watch. A team, again, not on our top 10 games this week, but definitely lots of intrigue there as well. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.